Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. We're continuing our series of talks today on what's a who's a bodhisattva. And you's a bodhisattva, or you have the bodhisattva potential within you if you walk the walk of a bodhisattva. And what's a bodhisattva? One who has vowed to save all sentient beings. And how do you do that? Well, the bodhisattva path is usually marked by what are known as the 10 paramita. They're virtues, virtuous conduct, sometimes called perfections, though that doesn't mean that we're expected to act perfectly all the time. It would be nice, but it is a way to walk to perfect ourselves and the world. One of the most important, the dana paramita, the paramita of generosity. If you want to be a bodhisattva, got to be generous. But what does this mean, generosity? Does that mean that you have to give away all your worldly goods, sell your house, sell your car, give away your paycheck in order to help others? Well, sometimes it could mean that, sure. There are stories of the Buddha, legendary stories of the time when the Buddha was still a bodhisattva in previous lives, and he gave his body to feed a hungry tiger. He said, "Tiger, take a bite." Of course, those are just stories, but they make a point that we are to be generous. But there are many ways to be generous in this complicated world. If you have a job, if you are contributing through your job to the betterment of society, just by keeping the big machine of the economy going to keep people fed and to keep people employed, well, that's a kind of generosity. If you're not only doing it for yourself, only doing it to get rich, if you're also doing it for the greater good, that's a form of generosity. If you're giving your time to your family with love, with kindness, that's generosity. If you are giving of yourself to your friends and co-workers, if you're not a mean old grump, you always have a smile and a kind word, a helping hand, that's generosity. If you have time to volunteer in the community, make your city, your country, your society better, that's generosity. So there are many, many forms of generosity. But generally, as Buddhists, a little more is expected of us than just to give what makes us happy. That's not what it's about. We really should be thinking of others as much as ourselves, because that's not two, you know. In our Buddhist way, the others are you. And we must also give thought to help others. I think this is one area where there's not really much, not an inch, not a micron of separation between the most beautiful parts of Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and Buddhism when it comes to charity, working charity, taking care of others, making sure that everyone in this world has health, a healthy place to sleep, food, shelter over their head. It's incumbent upon us to do that. That's generosity. And I'm not going to tell you that you need to sell your house or you need to give away every penny in your bank account, because that's not reasonable, that's not practical for lay people with families, with responsibilities. You don't want to move your family into a cardboard box. But you should give to the point it starts to hurt. And then a little beyond that. Because this is practice. when you give to the point that you can say that you're doing it for others, not merely because it's what makes you happy, then it's good practice. So, cultivate generosity. Even if it's just helping a little old lady across the street, even if it's just a smile to a stranger, even if it's just an extra little donation to charity every once in a while. It's all generosity, and in the Buddhist perspective, it all adds up. If there is such a thing as reincarnation, rebirth, then, well, we reap what we sow. Shall we sit with that?